Hi, I'm Dragos. I'm a developer in the regulatory reporting team, and today I will show you how to build a cloud microservice in 15 minutes. So we know how we have heard in the last months about how Avaloq wants to start offering more cloud-based products, cloud here, cloud there, but I did some research to find out exactly what a cloud is. So based on the Oxford Dictionary of English, we found out that the cloud is a visible mass of condensed watery vapor floating in the atmosphere, typically high above the general level of the ground. And to add to that, there are different types of clouds, such as the stratus clouds, the cirrus clouds, and the cumulus clouds, which are the fluffy ones, and they sometimes look like bunnies, as you can see in the picture. So now that we know what clouds are, and we all know what computers are, let's talk about the main competitors in terms of cloud computing platforms. So we have Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure, and the Google Cloud Platform. For this demo, I went for Google Cloud Platform, although Amazon Web Services has the largest market share. And why did I choose Google Cloud Platform or GCP? Well, they offer the free tier for newly signups, and it's unlimited, so it's not time-based, which is great for small experimentation. They have a pay-per-minute pricing compared to the Amazon Web Services pay-per-hour model, and you can customize how much RAM and CPU you can use, and also YouTube and the Google search are hosted on GCP. Out of curiosity, has anyone used this GCP before for experimenting with websites? One person? Quick show of hands? Yeah, one person. Okay, great. So you will learn something, hopefully. And in terms of building our small web app, we will use the BottlePy framework, and I've chosen this for reasons such as it's a fast, simple Python framework. It is excellent for fast prototyping, since I have less than 15 minutes now. And all of it is encompassed in one simple file, which you can import in your application. And for the actual application logic, I went with Python. It's an interpreted language. You don't waste time compiling, and again, excellent for prototyping. In terms of API testing, so we will build a small API. We will use Postman, which is a free application. And we will implement today two HTTP methods, get, which will get a list of names that we create on the web server, and post, which will add a name also to the application. And for those of you who don't know, get, it's whenever you go on a website, on Google, get is a simple request that you send to the server to fetch something. And post, for example, when you log in on your web application with username and password, you send a post request. Great. Now we will go to the actual coding bit. Start my Terminator here. So we will create a directory for our project. Let's call it ava.ws. Go in it. And first of all, we will just create the web application independent from Google Cloud Platform. So when that is done, we will add some configuration files, and then we can actually deploy the application on the Google Cloud. So now we just stick with BottlePy and Python. Let's create our source file, so main.py. And it's quite easy. We import the library. And Bottle, in this case, is a simple class that can allow you to easily create new BottlePy applications. And we create an instance of this class. And now we will just create a home page for our application. So all URLs, all requests that map to the root directory / will map to this function. Let's call it hello. So this will just return a hello. And lastly, this is the application part, but we also need to start a web server to actually serve the request to our application. And to do this, BottlePy comes with a small web server implementation. So we can just app.run. We specify the host, which is localhost on my own computer, since we're good programmers and we're developing everything locally before pushing to production. And our port will be 8080. And looks okay. And if we simply run this, and we go in our browser and refresh, we have a simple Hello World application in BottlePy. Now we will go to the API implementation side. So let's reside our API at /API. And we will implement the get method, which will simply get a list of names on the web server. And this will be returned in JSON format. JSON stands for JavaScript Object Notation. And I will show you, when we do the post method, I will show you how this notation looks like. It's extremely simple. And we need to import the JSON module from Python. So JSON has a dumps method, which just formats everything in JSON format. And here we add the names. And let's call this my names. I need to declare my names. So that's a list of names. And my names is just a simple Python set. It's similar to a set in mathematics or a set in Java. We don't allow duplicates in my names. Okay, let's see what happens if we go to /API. First, we need to restart the server because we changed the source. Okay, so here we have in a JSON format names and our list of names, but it's an empty set since we haven't added anything yet. So let's implement the post method now, also on the same URL. Add name. And before we do this implementation, I will show you how the request looks like in Postman. So this is the Postman app, it's free. And what we do is, here you can choose the HTTP method. So for get, post, and in our case we will use post. We enter the URL, localhost 8080 API. And now we will send our name in JSON format. JSON, and it will look something like this. Name and the value, let's call it Avaloq. So JSON is simply a collection of key value pairs. So in this case, the key is name and the value is Avaloq. And if we send this to our web server, it says method not allowed because we haven't actually implemented this yet. So if we go here and implement, we go data request dot, and in this case request is simply an object representing the request that comes to the web server, which we need to import also from bottom. And we convert, using this, we convert the contents of the request in JSON format. And now we need to assign a value to the name. And in this case, data is simply a dictionary. And based on the key that we specify here, name, we will find out the value and assign it to name. And in this case, the key is name, so the value we will assign will be Avaloq. After we have the name, we will just add it in our set. And let's return also in JSON format the name as a confirmation. Name. Okay. Let's see what happens. Yeah, excellent. I see someone is paying attention. So, okay, great. Thanks for that. So we get the confirmation. And now if we go on the URL and refresh, meaning that we sent a GET request, we'll get Avaloq in our list. So, of course, you can implement deletes, and I did no error checking here. So if someone sends garbage in the JSON, I don't know what happens. But that would be the simple API with Bottle and Python. And now we will just add the configuration files to deploy this to Google Cloud Platform. And Google Cloud Platform has its own server, so we need to comment this out, because here we're using the web server from the BottlePy platform, and now we want to use the Google Cloud Platform one. And notice that I'm not changing anything else in the source. And now I need to create, first I need to create my project on Google Cloud Platform. So I go to console.cloud.google.com. And I go in my project. You can see I did a bit of practice beforehand. So I will create a new project so you can see that it's live. Let's call it cool Avaloq. It's not taken yet, so great. So these are unique project IDs on the Google Cloud Platform. And here you notice that the project is creating, but while we do that, we will create our configuration files for the GCP. So we will stop the server. So at the moment in our project folder, we just have main.py. Now we need to create a directory where we will hold the BottlePy framework, since this is not available by default on Google Cloud Platform. So we create lib, and we also need to create a configuration file called app.engine_config.py, which will simply, here we will simply tell the Python module on GCP where to find our third-party libraries that our app uses, namely the lib directory. So we use their package that they provide. And here I just added I need to register Sublime. Here we just added the lib directory, and I will leave that there. Next, we need to create a requirements file, which will specify the third-party libraries that our web app will use. And we're just using Bottle version, the latest stable version. And now we will use, for the next step, we will install Bottle using pip, which is a Python package manager. And it's fairly easy, pip install. We specify the requirements file that we want. And the target, which is the lib directory. So right now I installed Python, BottlePy. So if I go in lib, you can see that I have the BottlePy source code. And there is one more file, and then we're ready to deploy, called app.yaml. Don't know how to say this. Oops. YAML stands for YAML ain't a markup language, which is something very similar to JSON actually, also key value pairs. And here we need to specify here we have some configurations for Google Cloud Platform that our app will use. So we want to use Python version 2.7. We want the API version 1. It's the only API version available at the moment on Google Cloud Platform, so we just put 1. And we want our app to handle multiple concurrent requests. So we need to also set threadsafe to true. Right, and once we do this, the next step is to specify where, to which Python module we want the URLs to map to. So we need a handler. So all URLs will be mapped to main.app, which we have created here. So all requests will get mapped here, and then based on the methods we have here, we can do granular logic, let's say. Okay. Looks okay. And also for local development, as a prerequisite, I already have installed the Google Cloud Platform SDK. So this provides a very nice web server that I can start locally to see what I have at the moment. So this is from the Google Cloud SDK. And I just give it the app.yaml file. And also on port 8080, I should be able to. Okay, so now I'm running the same application from the Google Cloud Platform SDK. We're not going to test anymore. We will now simply deploy to our newly created project. So we have the ID here, and it's a one-line command, gcloud for Google Cloud, app, deploy, and here in the project parameter we give it the ID, and if you tap tab you can see the IDs that are available on the server, and we want to use cool Avaloq. And now I'm uploading my project on Google Cloud, Europe West. And yeah, while that is happening, we can review the files that we have created. So we have our main.python file, which has our application. We have a configuration file for Google Cloud, which specifies where our third-party libraries are, namely in the lib directory. We have a requirements file, which specifies that we have a dependency on the BottlePy framework. And we also have an app.yaml file for some Google Cloud configurations, such as runtime and what you can see there. Let's see if we have the upload. Okay, now it's uploading. And if we go on this URL, which is live, let's go open link. And it's still updating. Okay, now it's live. So we have successfully deployed a live application on this URL, and you can check on your phone that it's available for anyone to use. If they want to add some names to some server somewhere. Yeah, is what I just did, and that's it. Thank you very much.